Hello everyone, good afternoon, welcome to the class. This is MN Ramesh, welcome you all to India's largest e-learning platform GradeUp. We are discussing analog circuits for the students who are there in uh, Target Gate 2021 for targeting Gate 2021. So I know that you're all very serious about Gate 2021. So to learn something from basics, we have started uh, this batch, which is for GATE 2021. If you are willing to crack the GATE examination, this is the best batch you are going for. And we started with diode circuits, and we have finished the diode circuits. That was the chapter 1. Okay, chapter 1 was diode circuits, and in these different circuits we have seen like clippers, clampers, rectifiers. Now we are going for chapter 2, that is BJT biasing. BJT biasing. In this lecture, we are going to understand what is biasing, okay, and what is operating point, how much this operating point should be, where it operating point should be, and what is stability, why the stability is required, and what is exactly stability means. These are the points we are going to discuss under this class today. Are you all ready, guys? So this PDF you have received, right? Have you received this BJT PDF also? Guys, come on, please tell me. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? Yashwant Sani is the first one to join today. Josna, Vaishnavi, Mugundam, Tripathi, Venkata Sandeep. Oh, good. Good number to see. Sriraj. Hi, Sriraj. How are you? Ajay, Lasya, Guru, Manipriya. Hi, hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon. So have you received the PDF study notes, PDF of BJT biasing, guys? I hope you all received it. Shubham, Banti, Surya Prakash. BJT must be available by end of this class today. Um, I try to provide this PDFs. I'll ask my team to provide the PDF at least one day before. One day before the class, okay? I try to do that. 7 p.m. We will receive it after class. Okay. Okay. I try to make it before the class. Okay. Why it should be after the class? So that if you have some time, you may come across this material first, and then you can understand little more bit better things. Okay. Vikas is having a question, sir. If any practical electrical circuit faulty, then we check or not this diode is forward biased and maker not give the circuit drawing. Fault checking can be done with continuity checking. Continuity checking we call it as. Dinesh is saying it is already available. That's what you check it, guys. Go to contents table. Go to contents table. There you can find the PDF. I think it is there. Come on, let others also join faster. Saurabh Kumar, you don't have any book to solve. First you concentrate on class problems, class theory, and problems which are discussed in the class. Then concentrate on quiz questions. Then concentrate on previous GATE and ESC questions. If you can do these three things for every chapter, that is more than enough. No need to go for any other book also. Diode faulty or not also can be found by continuity test, short circuit test. If you find anode to cathode voltage, always if you are getting it as 0, that means it is shorted, it is burned. So it's not useful. I think miss out from me. Okay. सर आपने अभी क्या बताया किस बारे में पीडीएफ के बारे में बता रहा हूँ मैं बोल रहा हूँ पीडीएफ अगर एक दिन पहले अवेलेबल है तो अच्छा होगा, है ना। Quiz should be after the class. I agree. Quiz should be after the class. But PDF study material should be before the class. I think so. Okay, Mugundan is saying after 6 o'clock. Chowkedar, GATE previous questions and ESE previous questions are available in the GradeUp website. They are available on website and also on app. It is free for everybody. You just go to previous questions and select your branch of engineering. You will get the questions, all questions. Many people are saying that it is available. PDF is available. Please check others. BJT PDF is available. People are saying, please check it. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, let's start, guys. Let's start. Others, let's join. We are going to talk about BJT biasing. BJT means bipolar junction transistor. What is biasing? We are going to understand. Okay, and what is operating point? We are going to understand. What is stability and why stability is. These are the things we are going to understand. Oh, Venkata Sandeep have already solved the previous questions on diodes. All of you, I suggest now because diodes is completed from my side. Diodes is completed from my side, and we have see after completing the diodes, what I suggest you is please go through the problems which are discussed in the class once again. Then write the quiz questions. Then go for previous gate and ESC questions. Here, if you have any doubt, put it in the doubts part. Okay, I will solve it and give you if you want. But you please solve it. If you can do this like this, that means you are perfect for the gate examination. You are ready for the gate examination. Same chapter wise every time we have to do. Now diodes is completed. We have done this. You have done this. You must do it. After that, you please do it. Whenever you find time, you keep solving this. For what? For only diodes. Similarly, by biasing, first class problems complete करेंगे हम. बाद में क्विज करना है आपको, ये आपका ड्यूटी है. And then you have to go for previous gate question. Then BJT biasing will be over. Similarly, next topic like that. Okay, let's start, guys. Symbolic representation of BJT is like this. Symbolic representation of BJT is like this. Okay, please hold the chart. So let me explain. Please hold the chart for some time. Transistor is a three-terminal device. By BJT means bipolar junction transistor. Bipolar junction transistor. Okay, BJT we call it as. It is a three-terminal device. What are the three terminals? Base, collector, and emitter are the three terminals for a BJT. This is called symbolic representation, like diode is having a symbol. This is called constructional diagram. This is collector, this is base, and this is emitter. This is called constructional diagram. That means how it is constructed, using what materials. It is NPN. It can be PNP also. I have shown NPN. Whatever I explain for NPN is equally valid for PNP also. So there is a simple technique to understand PNP once you understand NPN. Okay, that we'll see. This is how physically you can see the BJT. BJT after fabrication in daily applications, it looks like this. This is the photograph. This is a photograph of a transistor, like a diode also I have shown every time. So transistor is a three-terminal device, as you are seeing. What are the three terminals? Base, collector, and emitter. Emitter is always shown with an arrow. If arrow is there, that terminal always represents you emitter. If arrow is outside like this, if you can see arrow is outside like this, this is NPN transistor. If arrow is inside, it is still emitter, but that is PNP transistor, right? Now, if you see the construction details like NPN transistor, so it is a 3-terminal device having 3 regions. These 3 regions are called emitter, base and collector. They are called emitter, base, collector. The terminal taken from emitter region is called as emitter, base region is called as base, and collector region is called as collector. If you see now, the important point is, if you see this base and only emitter, forget about collector. Forget about the collector, only base and emitter if you want to see. It is just like a PN diode, is it not? It is a P and N. So between base and emitter, there is a junction. This junction I call it as JE. This junction I call it as JE, emitter junction. Between base and emitter, the junction, because of this P and N, we call it as JE, emitter junction. Similarly, if I neglect this emitter region and if I see base and collector, between these two, there is another junction. Whenever you have P and N, there is a junction always. So this is a PN junction. So let's call this PN junction as JC. Since they are just like diodes, for understanding, we can take these PN junctions as like diodes, but they are not diodes in fact. So this is called JC, this is called JE. It is for our understanding only. If you connect 2 diodes back to back like this and try to operate as an amplifier or try to operate as a BJT, will never behave. Just for understanding these junctions, we can represent the junctions as diodes, but physically they are not diodes, they are junctions. Exactly similar to the normal PN junction it is. Okay. So the clarity is, transistor is a 3-terminal device. Constructionally we can see like this. But for our understanding, sometimes we may be representing the junctions as diodes. Between base and emitter, this is the diode in this direction, like P and N. Since it is P and N here, it is like this direction. This is the collector terminal. So that is the reason it is called a bipolar junction transistor. It is having 2 junctions, JC and JE. The junction between base and emitter is called as JE. The junction between base and collector is called as JC. It is a 2-junction device. Now the question naturally comes is, when there are 2 junctions, JE and JC. In a diode, if you remember, in a diode, how many junctions are there? Only 1 junction is there, anode and cathode. So how many ways we operated? Forward bias and reverse bias, not more than this, right? Anywhere the diode is either forward bias or reverse bias, not more than that. So if you have only 1 junction, we operated the diode in 2 regions of operations. If I have 2 junctions in a BJT, how many ways I can operate? 4 ways I can operate. Is it not? 4 ways I can operate. These 4 ways are called regions of operation. Region of operation. In what region it is operated as? 4 regions exactly. Okay. So let's see what are these 4 regions of operations. It is just dealing with the junctions, right? Between base and emitter, between base and collector are the 2 junctions. So we need to understand what are these regions of operations. So now let us see, this is base and this is emitter. Between these two, it is just like a diode. I am again telling you, it is not a diode. It is like a diode. And between these two, I have another junction which is like a diode. It is not diode in fact. It is like a diode. Because the junctions are like that. This is the base, this is the collector, and this is the emitter. These are the regions. Right? Now, having 2 junctions with me, I can make these 2 junctions forward bias if I want. Because forward bias or reverse bias is all in my hands. I can do that because I know how to forward bias a diode. Then I also know how to forward bias a junction. Suppose if I want JE to be forward bias, JE means this junction, right? This junction between between emitter and base. This is called JE. If I want this junction forward bias, base voltage should be higher than emitter voltage. Is it not? Then this junction is forward bias. Yes, I can apply something here higher than the emitter voltage. I can say that it is forward bias. Similarly, if I want this junction also forward bias, Base voltage should be higher than the collector junction because collector is like cathode here. Base is like anode here. Similarly, for this junction also, base is like anode, emitter is like cathode. So forward bias is possible. Similarly, what else is required? What else we can do? We can reverse bias both the junctions if we want. Is it not? So that is reciprocal of forward bias. Similarly, what is the other option? Forward bias and reverse bias. What is the other option? Reverse bias and forward bias. These are called. Jyotsna audio is not perfect. I'm trying my best, guys. There may be some issue I'm not able to understand. Okay, still I try to speak little louder more. Hope now it is fine. So these are the four possibilities of making the junction, right? Forward bias, reverse bias, forward bias, reverse bias, and forward bias. These are the four regions of operations, we call it as. In this, if both the junctions are forward bias, the region we call it as saturation. The transistor is called as saturation region. You know, normally for a diode, just forward bias and reverse bias, there is no need of putting any names. But I have two junctions every time. So I am naming these regions of operations. If both the junctions are forward bias like this, I will name this region of operation as saturation. Saturation. So what happens? Saturation means this junction is forward bias. Okay, this junction is also forward bias. When both the junctions are okay, if both the junctions are forward bias, you know, if this junction is forward bias, how it behaves like? From here to here, it behaves like short circuit. Because forward bias is nothing but short circuit, we know. Base to emitter junction also forward bias, that means it is also like short circuit. That means saturation is like short circuit. Saturation is like short circuit. Then how much is the voltage between collector and emitter? If I measure the voltage between collector and emitter, where it is behaving like short circuit, it is 0, right? How much could be the current? Current in short circuit is always highest, so current is something highest. How much is highest? Don't say infinite, okay? Don't say infinite, because it is something highest possible. That all depends on how much we apply. So current is maximum, voltage is 0, is called saturation. Remember like this. So saturation I can define in two ways. Saturation is nothing but having both the junctions forward bias or having VCE equal to 0 and IC is maximum is called as saturation. In saturation, BJT behaves like short circuit. It is behaving like a short circuit. Let's go for the other region of operation. What is the other region of operation? Reverse bias and reverse bias. If both the junctions are reverse bias, that means this junction is reverse bias, this junction is also reverse bias. So reverse bias is nothing but open circuit, right? It is like open circuit. It is like open circuit. And this junction is also like open circuit. If both are open circuit, that is the region of operation we call it as cutoff. It is called as cutoff. If it is cutoff means open circuit. It is like open circuit. What is the current flowing through the open circuit? 0. What could be the voltage? Maximum. So cutoff means very simple in two ways. Cutoff means if both the junctions are reverse bias, I call it as cutoff region of operation. That means BJT is in cutoff, I'll say. Or if I find the current flowing through the transistor is 0. What current? Collector current. Collector current means flowing in the collector like this. This current I call it as collector current. If collector current is 0 and the voltage is maximum, still I call it as cutoff region. Can be defined in two ways, like based on the junctions and based on the voltages, right? Now third region of operation. Coming to the third region of operation. Third region of operation is emitter junction is forward bias, collector junction is reverse bias. It is like this. Now we have the two junctions like this. So now I have this junction is like forward bias, but this junction is like reverse bias. This is called active region. This is called active region. In this active region, defining of active region is simple like this. JE is forward bias, JC is reverse bias. Can we do that like? Yes, based on the voltage you apply, you can do that. Now, how much is the voltage? The voltage across the transistor when it is in active region is neither zero nor maximum. It is something it is. It is something. How much is that? I'll tell you a bit later. Similarly, how much is current? Not zero like cutoff, not maximum like saturation. It is something again. So if the current, so in two ways I'll define again active region. Active region means having emitter junction forward bias, collector junction reverse bias, so that voltage across the transistor, collector to emitter voltage, neither zero nor maximum. Current through the transistor in the collector, neither zero nor maximum, is called active region. I will say this region is very, very important for us because in this region, BJT can be used as amplifier. In these two regions, because it is like short circuit and this is like open circuit, in these two regions, the BJT can be used as switch. What is switch after all? On and off, right? On means short circuit, off means open circuit. So if you want the BJT as a switch, you can operate it. How? Between saturation and cutoff. But if you want the BJT as an amplifier, you have to go for active region. What is amplifier? We will discuss in the part of amplifier. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, don't ask me what is amplifier because anyhow I am going to define you what exactly amplifier is in amplifiers chapter, not now. There I'll clearly show you what is amplifier, how amplification, all those things. Now let us understand only the basics of BJT first. Now, understood active region is something special I am saying because we'll get some amplification. What is amplification later? But what is after all active region is forward bias, reverse bias, VCE, IC, not zero. That's it. Last region of operation is reverse bias and forward bias. Emitter junction is reverse bias, collector junction is forward bias. This is called as inverse active region. This is called inverse active because it is reciprocal to the active region, or it is also called as reverse active region. Active region we use the BJT as amplifier. Inverse active region we use the BJT as attenuator. Attenuator. What is attenuator? Output is less than input. It's called as an attenuator. That's why this is not again important for me. This is also not important for me. This is also not important for me. Why? If I want a switch, why should I go for BJT? I can go for a diode also. Diode also can behave like a switch. So why should I go for a BJT? Similarly, if I want attenuation, I can go for two resistors. These two resistors, if I connect like this is just an attenuator circuit, R1, R2 if I say. This is VO, this is VI if I say. VO is always less than VI. This is called attenuator. So if I want attenuation, I can go for two resistors, two capacitors also fine. If I want switch, I can go for diode also. But if I want amplification, no diode, no other device can behave like an amplifier except BJT, that too in active region. That is why active region is very, very important for us. If you want BJT, now you can use it as attenuator. If you want BJT, you can use it as a switch. You can use it as an amplifier. So BJT, based on the operation, region of operation, you can use it as switch. You can use it as attenuator. You can use it as amplifier. Which one we prefer? We prefer this because we don't want this. Why? There are alternatives easily. Suppose if I want a switch, I go for diode, which is easy to operate. Than BJT. BJT, if I want it as switch, I need to take care of two junctions at a time. Whereas if it is diode, single junction. If I want just attenuation, I go for two resistors, very easy. Instead of going for transistor and applying voltages, keeping it in inverse active region, and then using as attenuator. Not preferred. So we don't prefer. It doesn't mean that we don't use it. We can use it. We can use it, right? So it is all depends on what application where you are using. Mostly BJT is used as amplifier. It doesn't mean that nowhere we use the transistor means we use. In digital applications, in digital applications, we use the transistor in saturation and cutoff only, not in active region. So it all depends on application. In analog circuits, we are going to use the BJT in mostly in active region so that it is as an amplifier. Is it clear, guys? Very simple it is. So let us concentrate more on active region now. Now coming to what is biasing. So these are the regions of operations. How these regions of operations all are possible? Based on operating the transistor in which region, based on the junctions, right? If junctions are forward bias both or reverse bias both, like that. But how you are able to put the junctions forward bias or reverse bias? It all based on what you apply here, what you apply here, what you apply. What you apply? DC voltages. Applying some DC voltages to have some DC currents, is nothing but biasing. Biasing is all about applying some DC voltages and DC currents. How much is the DC voltage? What is the DC voltage? How much is the DC current? Maybe like this, maybe like this, maybe like this, maybe like this, maybe. These are all regions of operations can be called as biasing. There is a misopinion among the students that they may be thinking that biasing means only active region. Not necessary. Biasing means it may be saturation, it may be cutoff, it may be inverse, it may be active, anything. How we are getting this saturation, cutoff, active? By applying DC voltage and currents. This is what we call it as biasing. But which biasing we are more interested in? Active region biasing we are more interested in. Why? Because we can get amplification with that. So from now onwards, if I talk about biasing, I talk about mostly active region. If I am not talking about active region, I will specify until and unless you have to understand that I am talking about active region. Is it clear, guys? Regions of operation, is it clear? I'll tell you in another way of region of operation in a simplest way. There are 4 regions of operations, right? Let me call it as saturation. Let me call it as cutoff. This is active region. This is inverse active region. See, 4 coordinates based on VBE value, VBC value. This is other way of finding the regions of operation. If you have a BJT like this, okay, and the voltage between base and emitter, we call it as VBE. Voltage between base and collector, we call it as VBC. You just find. If you find VBE and VBC, both are positive, you see here, both are positive, it is called saturation. If you find VBE positive and VBC negative, that means the transistor is in active region. If you find both are negative, that means transistor is in cutoff. If you find VBE negative and VBC positive, that is inverse active region. Like this also you can think of. Is it clear, guys? This is all possible by applying DC voltages and DC currents. This is what I call it as biasing. Remember, but in biasing, I am interested more in active region. What is active region? Having JE forward bias, having JC reverse bias, so that VCE is not equal to 0 and IC is not equal to 0. This is what the summary so far I am talking about. Is it clear, guys? Or you have any questions? Come on, guys. Let me go for some examples so that I'll make you perfect with the regions of operations if it is clear. Come on, guys. Is it clear? And remember, BJT basics and the regions of operations, biasing, etc. are very, very, very important. If you are missing this class, means you are not going to understand the next topics like amplifiers and others. Come on, you have any questions? Please tell me. JC is reverse bias, right, sir? Then how can IC be there? That's the nice question, Lasya. Let me hold your chart for some time. Yes, there is a very nice question. You know, when transistor is in active region, okay, this collector junction is reverse bias, it is behaving like open circuit, but still we are saying that collector current is flowing. When it is like open circuit, how current flows? That is the speciality of the BJT. That is the specialty of the active region. It happens, in fact. It can be proved. I'm not saying that just like that you accept it. It can be proved also. You know, in active region is special because of that only. In a reverse bias diode, under reverse bias, no current flows. Practically leakage current flows. But whereas in a BJT, when it is in reverse bias, not leakage current, maximum current flows. We can have whatever the current we want. That is the specialty of the BJT. How it happens can be understood, but that part belongs to EDC, electronic devices, not here. That part belongs to EDC. Let us not waste our time there. But please accept, trust me and accept. I can prove it also, but I need at least 15 to 20 hours to explain that. How the current is happening, even though there is a reverse bias here, to explain at least 15 to 20 hours is required. Because before that, many things are to be explained. That completes analog electronic devices, in fact. But trust me, believe me, even though in active region it is like open circuit, but still collector current flows. Please take it as granted, and this collector current is important for us. Please take it as granted. It flows. It can be proved also how it is, but I'm not going to that details. Okay, please take it as granted like that. That's great. That's a good question. And one more very important thing is that current, whatever is flowing here, this current we call it as collector current. No, this current is like a current source. It behaves like a current source. It behaves like a current source. Because of that only BJT is something special. And it happens only in BJT, nowhere else it happens. That's why BJT can only be as an amplifier possible, not a diode, not a capacitor, not a resistor. Got it? But please don't ask me here how it behaves like a current source. We'll discuss that later. Shivam, exactly Shivam. Sir, in the active region, what causes IC? Repeat once again, Josna. What causes IC means? IC depends on the current, whatever is flowing here in the base. There are three currents, like three terminals are there, IB, IC and IE. Right? Josna, fine. Graph एक बार फिर से sir. Saurabh Kumar, graph. Graph is very simple. Graph is very simple. You just need to find, these voltages VBE and VBC. Now check with saturation, cutoff, active, inverse. If both are positive, saturation. I'll give you example, don't worry. I'll make you with examples, don't worry. What don't we speak about biasing in AC? Don't we speak about biasing in AC? No. Biasing is all about dealing with DC only. Remember. Sir, you said that it is like diode, but not exactly like diode. So is there any practical example where we can use diodes in place of BJT? As a switch only. As a switch only, you can use diode in place of BJT, nowhere else. Okay. Josna, this is what we are talking about biasing. Regions of operation. Whatever the region of operation, possible only by applying some DC. Applying DC is nothing but biasing. Okay. Okay. Sir, regulator problem fully understand with within 1 minute answer tell sir. Yashan, very good, very good. With reading EDC, I can understand BJT. Yes, biasing means battery and battery works on DC. Yeah, can be understood like that, can be taken like that. Okay, fine. Let me now summarize once again. I'll give you some standard notation. Remember, if I represent like this, capital V, capital B. If I represent like this, capital C, capital E, like this, capital V, capital E, capital B, capital C, like capital E, like this. These are called terminal voltages. Remember, terminal voltages. These are the voltages applied at the terminals with respect to ground. With respect to ground, these are. I am going to use this terminology till the end of the analog circuits. If I represent like this, IC, IE, IB, these are called terminal currents. All capital letters. See, I am using all capital letters. That is representing you DC. DC voltages and DC currents. All capital letters. Suffix also capital. Letter is also capital. That is called terminal voltages. Suppose if I represent like this, VBE, VCE, VCB, these are called junction voltages. These are called junction voltages. This is VBC, voltage between base and collector. This is VBE. From collector to emitter, we call it as VCE, like this. These are called junction voltages. You see, all are capital letters. This is what tells you that DC voltages. Okay. How to represent the AC voltages and AC currents? When I talk about AC, I'll tell you that, not now. So far, I am dealing with BJT only with DC. So I'll talk about only DC. Remember, these are terminal voltages. These are always with respect to ground. These are called junction voltages, which is between two terminals. Between base and emitter, we call it as VBE. Between base and collector, we call it as VBC, like that. Is it clear? Always remember like that. Sir, by biasing output greater than input, no. There is no input and output here. So these are terminal voltages only. AC are not used in BJT, definitely used. AC can also be applied to the BJT, but right now I am not applying. Whenever I apply AC, I will tell you, till that time, please stick to only DC voltages and currents I am talking about. Okay? Again, please hold some time. This notation is very important, guys. All of you please follow. I am going to use that. So what is saturation is? Base voltage is greater than emitter voltage because this junction has to be forward bias. Base voltage is also greater than collector voltage. This is called saturation. Reciprocal of this, base voltage is less than emitter voltage. Base voltage is less than collector voltage is called as cutoff. What is active region? Active region is nothing but base voltage is greater than emitter voltage and base voltage is less than collector voltage is called as active region. Reciprocal of this is inverse active region. Base voltage is less than emitter voltage. Base voltage is greater than collector voltage is called as inverse active region. Like this also you can remember. This also you can remember. This also you can remember. This also you can remember for regions of operation. 3 ways I told you to identify the regions of operation. Any one is better. As per your convenience, you go ahead, guys. As per your convenience. This one, or this one. Anything is fine. Okay. Shall I give you one example now? Shall I give you one example to identify the regions of operation? Are you ready? I just ask you whether it is in active region or saturation or inverse or whatever. Right? Inverse active region or whatever. Are you ready? Please take the screenshot. Yeah, this is one screenshot you can take. This is another screenshot you can take. This is another screenshot you can take. This is very, like a rough work. Anyone you can read. Come on. Now I am giving you an example. Come on, guys. Let me see how many of you can give me the answer. Find the region of operation for this circuit for the BJT shown, where base is applied with 3 volts, emitter is applied with 1 volt, collector is applied with 5 volts. Come on. Is it active region or saturation or cutoff? What? Oh, superb. Everybody is saying. Come on. All the students should respond to this question. I want all the students to respond. Yes, 100% people are saying that it is active region. Very simple, it is this voltage is greater than this, so the junction is forward bias. This voltage is less than this junction is reverse bias. If you want to understand in terms of diode also, like this you can understand. They are like junctions, right? So anode is less than cathode, that's why it is reverse bias. Anode is higher than cathode, so it is forward bias. Forward bias, reverse bias. This is JE, this is JE, this is JC. Is active region. Like, hope we are all clear. I am trying to now confuse you, but still you have to do it. Come on. I am trying to confuse you, but still tell me what is the reason of operation for this. What is the reason of operation for this? Come on, make it faster. Make it faster. I have to explain little more things. After reason of operation, we have to see what is operating point and what is stability also. Come on, make it faster. Everybody is saying C, active region, right? Oh, great. Amit is saying different. Some people are saying different. Some people are saying, okay, check it again. See here. What is the voltage here? What is the voltage here? Minus 3 volts. It is not 3 volts. See the battery here, negative terminal is connected, minus 3 volts. What is the voltage here? 0. What is the voltage here? Plus 5 volts. Here is minus 3, here is 0. The junction is reverse bias. Here minus 3, the voltage is here. The junction is reverse bias. Reverse bias is called cutoff, not active region. Many people said it is active region, which is wrong. It is cutoff. Got the clarity? Nothing wrong in saying wrong answer. Okay, if you say wrong answer, now you must have realized what the mistake you have done. Now next time onwards, you will not make the mistake. That's a great thing. Yes, clear now? So you have to see the polarity of the battery also, guys. Go for this. Come on, this one, third. Tell me faster. Tell me faster. The voltage here is 2 volts. The voltage here is 0 volts. The voltage here is minus 3 volt. See, it is minus 3 volt battery. Confusing. Some people are confusing. Don't get confused. Otherwise, you find VBE value, VBC value. What is VBE? VBE is nothing but VB minus VE. Is it positive or negative? Obviously, it is positive. What is VBC? VB minus VC. Is it positive or negative? 2 minus of minus 3 is positive. If VBE is positive, VBC is also positive. This way. VBE is positive, VBC is positive. What is the region? Saturation. So the transistor is in saturation. So this junction is forward bias. This junction is also forward bias. Both the junctions forward bias is called as saturation. Perfect, perfect. Come on. Now tell me. Fourth one. Please tell me fourth one. Find the region of operation. These questions will not come in the gate examination. Don't worry. But still, why I am giving is to make you perfect in finding the region of operation. Later in our discussions, you should not get any confusion for that. Come on, what is the region of operation here? Here it is how much? It is minus 2 volts. How much is here? 0. How much is here? Minus 5 volts. But see, this is VBE now. This is VBE. This is VBC. Because emitter is here. Have you observed this or not? So VBE is what happened? Forward bias. VBC is what happened? Reverse bias. Is it not? VBC is reverse bias. 0 is higher. VB base is lower. So this is reverse bias. This is forward bias. So the transistor is in active region. C it is. Many people made a mistake, I know. I know you must be making a mistake. D people are saying no. Because this is collector junction. Collector junction is reverse bias. Emitter junction is forward bias. Is active region. Clear? This one, fifth one, make it faster. Make it faster, fifth one. Sriraj. Yes, Sriraj. Tell me what you want. This one, somebody, other people, please tell me this. But please type the question number. Otherwise, how can I understand which question you are saying? Sriraj is asking once again. Others are also asking once again. Okay, let us check it again. Now the voltage here is how much? What is this voltage? Minus 2 volts. How much is this voltage? 0. How much is this voltage? Minus 5. Is it right? What is this junction? This junction is like a diode. But what is this junction? JC it is. Because base and collector, this is collector, you see, this is emitter. This is emitter. So this is like another junction. Got it? Now see, this is minus 2, this is minus 5. Anode is higher than cathode. So junction is forward bias. What is this junction? JE. So JE is forward bias. What about JC? This is minus 2, this is 0. Cathode is at 0, anode is at minus 2. It is also reverse bias. So JE forward bias, JC reverse bias is called as active region. Now you got it? Fifth one. See again. This is 4 volts. This is 4 volts. How much is this? 0 volts. Why? Because this is connected to the negative terminal. That means it is ground. That means this is also connected to the ground, no? So the voltage here is 0. How much is the voltage here? This is also 4 volts. Because these two are shorted. These two are shorted. So this is 4 volts means here is also 4 volts. So now check. What is this junction? VBE it is. What is this junction? VBC. It is like diode, like this. How it is here? How is this? This is here like this. So anode and cathode are same. So it is in equilibrium. So JE is in equilibrium. Equilibrium, I said to take it as reverse bias, right? Almost. It is not actually, but you take it as. Now JC, what happened? This is 4 and this is 0. Forward bias. Forward bias. JE reverse bias, JC forward bias is called as what? D. Inverse active region. Inverse active region. Clear? Yeah. Now let's understand what is exactly operating point is. With this knowledge, you can understand what is operating point and what is stability factor. Let's go ahead. Are you ready? Sriraj, you are making some mistakes. Sriraj, check the emitter terminal where it is. Suppose if I give the circuit like this, can you tell me now? For example, if I give the circuit like this, let's say 4 volts. Let's say 2 volts. Now tell me what is this? Tell me what is this now? See, this is collector now. This is collector, this is emitter. What happened to the transistor now? Come on, for this circuit. Sai Kumar, Sriraj, Masum. Please check it once again, Masum. Yes, it is saturation. Saturation. It is in saturation. See, here is 4 volts. Here is 0. So the junction is forward bias. Here is 4 volts. Here is how much? 2 volts. Junction is forward bias. Forward bias is saturation. Yes, Masum. Now you are correct. Perfect. Let's understand now operating point and stability factor. Again, please hold your discussion so that I can explain something about operating point. Operating point I am going to find when the transistor is in active region. Remember. Okay. From now onwards, I talk about transistor in active region only. What is active region means? We already discussed. Active region means JE is forward bias, JC is reverse bias. This is called active region. This is called active region, right? In active region, what happens? VCE is not 0, not maximum. IC is not 0, not maximum. That means some values are there. Maintenance of some value of VCE and some value of IC is nothing but operating the transistor in active region. Okay. maintenance of applying some VCE value, some IC value, non-zero values for a BJT is nothing but operating the transistor in active region. Then the question naturally comes is, some value you are saying, sir, some means how much? Is it 2 volts or 3 volts or 5 volts or 50 volts? Some current you are saying means, is it 1 milliampere, 10 milliampere, 20 milliampere? That is what we need to find. We will find it. Okay. So operate, see, this is a technical definition. You just remember like this, what I am saying. Nobody asked you to define and state what is operating point in the examination. If technically speaking, yes, it can be defined like this. Operating point, also known as bias point, quiescent point, Q point. Why it is called Q point and quiescent point, I'll tell you. Wait for that. Is the DC voltage and current of a transistor with no input signal applied. This is noted. See guys, this, you please note this word, no input signal applied. When transistor is not applied any AC input signal means AC, remember. When transistor is not applied with any AC signal, the DC voltage you are maintaining and the DC current you are maintaining, that is what I am calling it as DC and IC, is called as operating point, is called as keeping the transistor in active region. Let's see how it is possible. Let's take an example. This is the BJT I have. Let me say this is connected to some battery like this. Some battery, let me call it as VCC. And emitter I am connecting to ground. And base, let me connect it to another battery like this. Maybe it is called as VBB. These values can be some numericals also. Let's say it is 5 volts, just for example. This is, let's say 2 volts, possible, right? Can be possible. Then the transistor is in active region, do you agree? Because this is 2 volts, this is 0 volts, forward bias. This is 5 volts means here is 5 volts, here is 2 volts, junction is reverse bias, transistor is in active region. Then there is a current flowing here, which we call it as IC. There is a current flowing here, which we call it as IB. Sum of these two currents is nothing but IE. Okay. So always remember, IE is equal to IB plus IC in a BJT. IE is equal to IB plus IC in a BJT. Always remember, that is a basic current equation. But in fact, this current is flowing through the collector. To protect this transistor from the damage, we always prefer to have a resistance in series, right? So let me connect a resistance here in series with this, like this. This resistance, let me call it as RC. Why? Because to protect this value. Similarly, to protect the base current, to limit the base current, I may connect one more resistor here, which is RB, let me call it as. At emitter, I don't need a resistor. Why? Because emitter current is after all going to the ground, not flowing through the transistor. So it is going to the ground. I don't need any limiting. This is what we call it as biasing the transistor. It is what we call it as biasing. I applied some DC voltages in such a way that the transistor is in active region. It is called biasing, simple. But we don't generally prefer this type of biasing for some reasons, I'll tell you later. But our interest here is, we are saying that some voltage and some current are there, right? We are saying that some voltage and some current. Biasing is all about, active region is all about having some voltage and some current for the transistor. This is the voltage and the current. Now let me identify how much is the current and how much is the voltage. To find how much is the voltage and how much is the current, because I had a question, right? How much is the voltage? How much is the current? Because I have to define that. I cannot say some voltage, some current. To define that, let me apply a KVL in this loop. Is this a KVL? Because this is a loop, I can apply a KVL in this loop. So KVL in collector loop. If I apply, I think you all know what is KVL. VCC minus ICRC minus the voltage across this. This is also to be considered. VCE in a transistor, always junction voltage should be considered, is equal to 0. This is the current KVL. This voltage minus the drop across this, minus the drop across this, which is nothing but VCE, must be equal to 0. Algebraic sum of voltages in a loop must be equal to 0. Right? You all know KVL. So I just applied the KVL. This is the basic equation. Let us keep it. Let me have some space here just for more writing. Now, in this equation 1, can I write what is VCE value? Can I write what is VCE value? If I take this VCE that side, it becomes VCC minus ICRC. Right? In this equation, if I substitute IC equal to 0, what this VCE value will become? Can I call this VCE value as maximum value? Why? I am making this subtracting term to 0. I am making it as 0. When subtracting term becomes 0, the value becomes maximum value, right? That's what I am doing. I am just finding how much is maximum. If I substitute IC equal to 0, VCE becomes VCC, which is the highest value. Let's call it as equation 2, maximum value. In the same way, let me take once again the equation 1 and try to write what is IC now. Let me write what is IC. What is IC here? IC is equal to VCC minus VCE divided by RC it is. Correct? If I just rearrange this, IC equal to VCC minus VCE by RC. Again, like here I substituted IC equal to 0. If I substitute VCE is equal to 0 in this, if I substitute VCE equal to 0 in this equation, that means I am making this term equal to 0. So can I call this current as maximum current? Is going to be VCC by RC. This let me call it as equation 3. See, what I have done is very simple. I have found from this equation, by applying the KVL in this, I just found from this equation how much is the maximum voltage possible across the transistor, how much is the maximum current possible through the transistor. These are the things I found. Maximum voltage and maximum current I found. Now let me take a graph. This graph I'll plot it between IC and VCE. Are these DC voltages or currents? This voltage is DC voltage or AC voltage? This current is DC current or AC current? Come on guys, tell me. Are these parameters are DC or AC I am dealing with? Come on guys, respond. Are these values DC or AC? Respond. By the time I tell you, VCE max is VCC value. So somewhere here is the VCC value. Yes, we are talking about DC because you can see what we applied is only just DC, nothing else. So the voltages and currents are nothing but, that's what I call it as biasing, right? Active region means that, right? Now I found the maximum voltage and maximum current. I am taking this as current axis, this as voltage axis. Let me call this as VCE max. How much is this value? VCC. This value is IC max. How much is that? VCC by RC. See, I just identified these 2 points on these axes. Because this is the voltage axis, this is the current axis. On the voltage axis, I found the maximum voltage. How much? How much is VCE maximum I found? VCE maximum is VCC. How much is the IC max I found? Is VCC by RC. I just identified these 2 points. Now, I just draw a line. I just draw a line to join these 2 points. These 2 points I try to join like this. Sorry, I am not drawing a straight line. Let me draw as perfect as possible. It is little difficult to draw the diagrams with digital pen. I tried my best, so I changed this better. Okay, this value I call it as VCC. This is VCE. This is IC. Sorry, this is IC max. This is VCE. See, I plotted a line. I plotted a line by drawing, joining 2 points which are maximum voltage and current. This diagram we call it as DC load line. This is called DC load line because we plotted this line for DC voltages and currents. We call it as DC load line. Right? Now I want to identify a center point on this line. I want to find a center point on this line. I want to find a center point on this line. What is center point on this line? Or before going to the center point, suppose if I take a point on this point if I take This is the point I have taken. Let's say, what is this point corresponds to? Corresponds to some voltage and corresponds to some current, right? What is this current? IC. What is this voltage? VCE. So this much is the voltage. Observe all of you carefully. This much is the voltage and this much is the current. Some voltage, some current, right? So this is active region. That means this point corresponds to active region. This point corresponds to active region. Sir, why you are saying this point? Can I take any other point? Yeah, take this point. Let us say, for example, this corresponds to this current and this voltage, IC and VC. So this point also corresponds to some voltage, some current. That means that is also in active region. Like this, some voltage, some current on this line. How many points I can take like that? How many points I can take like that? Come on, anybody? If I say like a point on this, if I say a point on this line corresponds to active region, some voltage, some current, how many points I can take like that? Infinite points I can take like that. Then how much is the voltage and current, sir? Is this much voltage and this much current, or this much voltage and this much current? How much? Where is the active region point exactly? Like this, any point on this line, exactly guys, infinite points are there. Any point on this line corresponds to active region. Remember, any point on this line corresponds to active region. This point here, see, this point corresponds to saturation. This point here, VCC, corresponds to cutoff region. Remember, we should assume IC equal to 0. Yes, to find maximum voltage and maximum current, I took these values just to find the maximum voltage and all. See, this point corresponds to cutoff. Why it is called cutoff region? Because voltage is maximum. When voltage is maximum, what it is called? Cutoff, no? Do you remember in cutoff region, what is voltage? See, in cutoff region, voltage is maximum, current is 0. You can see in this diagram also the same thing. Voltage is maximum, but corresponding current is 0 here. That's what cutoff region is. You see, saturation means current is maximum, but voltage is 0. That's what saturation is. So any point on the line, is active region. Now we need to define which points, sir. Which point should I take? There is a confusion, right? Which point we have to take as an operating point? Then to clear that confusion, which point as operating point, I will go for the center point. I will take the center point by taking the center point on this line, and by taking the center point on this line, and I take these points like this. So I am taking a center point of this line. This is what I call it as Q point, called as operating point. Q point is nothing but operating point. So what is operating point? Operating point corresponds to some voltage VCE. How much is that? This much. Operating point corresponds to some current which is nothing but this value. Now, are we having the answer for this? How much is this voltage and current? Just now we had a question that we have to have some voltage and some current. Now I'll say that the voltage must be of this much, current must be of this much. How much is this? VCC by 2 it is. How much is this? VCC by 2 RC. This point corresponds to, I can say this point corresponds to VCC by 2 RC. This point corresponds to VCC by 2 it is. Yes, IC by 2, which is nothing but VCC by 2 RC. This is VCC by 2. So now I found what is the question I had earlier. I had the question, how much is the VC and IC? Now I got the answer. This much is the voltage and this much is the current. If I can maintain this much is the voltage and current like this, the transistor is in active region, and this is the point we call it as operating point. That means we are going to operate the transistor. Operate the transistor in active region as an amplifier with this much is the voltage and this much is the current. That is the point, or that is the value of voltage and current called as operating point. So operating point means always VCE value and IC value. How much is that? That is at the center point of the DC load line by finding the maximum voltage and current. Is that not simple? Now you may be having a question. I expected that. Anand and others, I expected that. I know that why should we take the center point? Why can't we take any other voltage and current? It can be taken. It can be taken any other voltage other than center point also, but it is always preferred. Remember, operating point at the center is preferred, not compulsory. It is preferred, not compulsory. Operating point at the center is preferred. Why, sir? Why it is preferred? Because ultimately what you are going to do with this transistor when it is in active region with this voltage and current, you are going to use it as an amplifier. When you use it an amplifier, amplification becomes highest. You will get the highest amplification when you have the operating point at the center. If you take the operating point any other point anywhere in the line, you don't get the amplification highest. You will get the amplification, but not the highest you will get. Highest amplification only possible when the operating point is at center. That's why I prefer it at center, but it's not compulsory. Right? Let me summarize now. Yeah, it may be for maximum. I'll tell you more about operating point when we talk about amplifiers. You know, maximum swings to possible. When you are using this transistor as an amplifier to have maximum swings possible, operating point should be always at the center. Preferred. It is preferred, not compulsory. So let me say now brief. Operating point is nothing but having some voltage and current. But what voltage and current? It is preferred at the center. How to draw this DC load line to find the operating point? Finding the maximum voltage and maximum current. Take the center point of that. Always you have to see first maximum voltage and current, and then take the center point of that. That is called operating point. Why we are calling it as operating point? Because we are going to operate it as an amplifier. That's why it's called operating point. Clear? Clear, guys? Is this clear? By having operating point at center, we have class A power amplifier. Yes, Vicky, but all amplifiers at center point, we need not to call it as class A power amplifier. That is something different. First, let us understand amplifier, then power amplifier, negative feedback amplifier, other amplifiers, let's understand. Dev Kumar, I didn't understand what your question is. Meet Chaudhary, actually I am speaking very loud here. Actually I am speaking very loud. Maybe some problem with microphone or something. That's why voice is very low. Can you use a speaker, or can you use some microphone? Some speakers or earphones, something like that. Meet Chaudhary. Ajay, graph between only for VC and IC. Yes, because that is what we wanted. No, operating point or active region means what? Something about voltage and current, right? Voltage and current. Meet Chaudhary, others are saying audio is fine. So you must check your connection, Meet Chaudhary. See, operating point is nothing but VC and IC. Active region is nothing but. That's why we have to plot the graph between. Right, right. Now this is what operating point is. Now let us understand stability factor. To understand stability factor, let me have some space here, and let's discuss few more things, because to explain what is stability factor, I need some space here. Please give me some time. Yeah, Meet Chaudhary, I understand your problem. You have some ear problem. You cannot use earphone, but can't you use any speaker? Any speaker you can connect to your laptop or your cell phone, no? Speakers will be there, no? Small speaker, wireless speaker, Bluetooth speaker, something like that you can try. Yes, please take the screenshot if you want. Yeah, Meet Chaudhary, that's good. Okay, now let me talk about operating point stability factor. So let me take out some lines here which are confusing unnecessarily for us. Okay, let me take out these unwanted things which are not required. This is also not required for us. Clear? Now the point is, there is some collector current flowing here. That's what we know. There is some collector current flowing here. Now that collector current IC in a BJT is given as IC equal to always beta times of IB plus 1 plus beta times of ICB0 or IC0 we call it. This is called collector current equation in a BJT. So we are saying that collector current flows, mathematical expression for this collector current is this. IC is equal to beta times of IB, which is flowing here, plus 1 plus beta times of IC0. What is IC0? Is nothing but leakage current. It is nothing but leakage current. Because I told you any semiconductor device will have some leakage current. Why leakage current is there here in this picture? As we just saw in a BJT in active region, one junction is reverse bias, collector junction is reverse bias. That means the collector current is flowing through reverse bias. So definitely there will be a leakage current. Whenever there is a reverse bias, there is a leakage current. So here also there is a leakage current. Okay. Yeah. Vikas is asking why emitter connect to ground, not collector. You can connect that also. Ultimately goal is to make this junction forward bias, this junction reverse bias. This is the easiest way. If you go for some other method, it may be requiring 3 batteries for you. Okay, output is taken across collector terminal and emitter is Josna. Output is taken across collector terminal and emitter current goes into ground. Josna question, sir, what about IE? IE goes to the ground. You know, IE, suppose if we define what is IB and IC, IE is sum of these two, or IE is almost equal to IC only. So we don't much bother about IE. Suppose if we define IC, that is almost equal to IE. Okay. Bunty, beta is a constant. Okay. Beta is a constant called as current amplification factor, whose value will be anywhere in between 50 to 500. Different bulbs are available in the market, like 50-watt bulb, 100-watt bulb, 200-watt bulbs are available. Different beta transistors are available in the market. If you buy a transistor, you will be known with a beta value of the transistor. Generally, beta varies from 100 to 150 anywhere. Generally, okay. So beta is a constant. Always remember, beta is a constant. ICO is leakage current. Leakage current. So IC is always beta times of IB plus 1 plus beta times of IC0. Okay, IC0 is the leakage current, remember always. If you see what is the IC we are maintaining, this is the IC we selected, right? This is the IC we selected. Is it not? This is the IC we selected. This IC depends on, this IC is not depending on any other parameters except IC not. You know, beta is a constant. IB also will be constant because this VBB is constant, RB is constant. Beta is again constant, but IC naught is not constant. What is IC naught? IC naught is a leakage current, always remember, strongly depends on temperature. If temperature increases, leakage current increases. If leakage current increases, it is directly affecting the collector current. IC increases. So IC increases. If IC increases, where it is flowing in the collector, more current always leads to more temperature. So more temperature. If more temperature is there, more leakage current. It is a continuous process. More leakage current leads to more IC. More IC leads to more temperature. And it is continuous process. It is continuous process. This is the problem, we call it as thermal runaway. This is the problem, we call it as thermal runaway. Are you aware about this? Huh? Sriraj, sorry sir, but I have my internal paper online now of college, so 8 to leave. Okay, 8 have to leave. Okay, Sriraj, go ahead, go ahead. But watch this recording, it is very important. Huh? Ajay, why should we prefer NPN transfer over PNP? Ajay, I'll tell you that later because let me complete this first. I'll tell you that, don't worry, I'll tell you that. Pranay, is leakage current also through base and emitter junction? No, this leakage current is always through collector base junction, through this junction. Leakage current always through collector base junction, collector base junction. Okay. Sir, how to know that amplification is high at Q point? Once we complete the amplifier, then you will understand. Okay. Right now, I have not entered into amplifier. You know, guys, I am telling you now about BJT and its biasing. I am not at all talking anything about amplifier. Once we are perfect with biasing and all, then we talk about amplifier. Right now, I don't. Okay. Until unless I tell you that, we'll discuss that. Okay. So, right, this is the continuous process. So, what is happening ultimately? Because we are operating at some temperature, at room temperature. Maybe sometimes temperature may change. During summer, temperature may be different. Winter, some temperature may be different. From region to region, different temperature may be different. If temperature is different, then leakage current is going to be different. If leakage current is going to be different, IC is going to be different. That means IC is increasing with temperature and leakage current, not as we decided. We decided that it is as VCC by RC by 2. VCC by RC by 2 it is. Right? Center point we decided. Where VCC is constant, RC is constant. We thought it is constant. But unfortunately, because of temperature and leakage current, it is not constant, it is increasing. That means it is not here. Somewhere here it is. That means operating point is not at the center, it is changed. See, operating point is changed here. That means it is not a faithful amplification. It is not going to be a faithful amplifier. Because we wantedly selected the operating point here, but on its own it is changing without your interface. Similarly, if you continue, if you leave it like this, transistor may reach the collector current to saturation almost, right? You wantedly kept the transistor in active region, but because of temperature and leakage current, IC is increasing and increasing, reaching to saturation. That means transistor is slowly turned into saturation without your knowledge. You thought that transistor is in active region, but because of temperature, transistor entered into saturation. Even if you leave like this current keep on increasing, and transistor may get damaged also. Because large current flows, the device gets damaged. You have to stop this, right? You have to stop this increment. Because I said, let's say, let's say, for example, my operating current is, let's say my operating current is 1 milliampere only. I have decided that by VCC, RC, IB, VBB, VCC, etc. Using this circuit, I decided, let us say IC equal to 1 milliampere. I expect it should be 1 milliampere always, but because of this process, because of this thermal runaway process, IC is increasing on its own and reaching to saturation, maybe 10 milliamperes and beyond also damages the device. So I have to stop this increment, right? If I say it is 1 milliampere, I have to ensure that it is always 1 milliampere. That is what we call it as stabilization of operating point. Stabilization of operating point. Maintaining the operating point stable. This is the operating point I decided. I have to maintain it as stable, not to vary with temperature and leakage current, is called stabilization. That is called stabilization. Stabilization of what? Stabilization of operating point or Q point. You know, it is called quiescent point. It is called as quiescent point. Do you know what is quiescent meaning? Can anybody say what is the meaning of quiescent? Can you say what is quiescent point for quiescent means? What is quiescent means? Quiescent dictionary meaning is silent, calm, not varying. Quiescent means calm, not varying. So operating point should be calm, should be silent, should not be varying, should be constant. It should be constant. If you can maintain like that, that is the best way of putting the transistor in active region. Stable, yes, stable, constant, stable. Quiescent means constant, stable, calm. That is why it is represented with Q point, right? Q point means quiescent. Quiescent means constant. It should be constant. It should constant with respect to what? Temperature and leakage current. Got it? If you can maintain like that, that is called perfect biasing. So third point I'm adding. If you want the transistor in active region means emitter junction should be forward bias, collector junction should be reverse bias. Second, there must be some voltage across the transistor VCE. There must be some current flowing through the transistor, collector current. And this voltage and current should be at the center point of the DC load line. Now the next point is the center point what you decided should be stable. Should be stable. These are all the things responsible by us. We have to put these all values like this so that the transistor is perfectly biased, we call it as. Perfectly biased, we call it as. Got it? So Harshavardhan is asking that, sir, is the collector current is leakage current then? No, definitely not. Definitely not. This current equation, generally we write it as IC equal to beta times of IB. If I neglect this term, it is just beta times of IB. So collector current in a BJT in active region depends on base current, not on leakage current at all. Where base current is not minority carrier current. But practically, you have to take this leakage current also into account. It is not only this. Always remember, IC is not only beta times of IB plus 1 plus beta times of IC0, where this term is leakage current. Since it is very small, we neglect this term and we write only this. But actually we have to consider this. Why we are neglecting? Because it is very small. We know that it is in the order of nanoamperes, but this is not in nanoampere. This is in the milliamperes. But why I am considering now? Because I don't want to even neglect the small current, because it is strongly depending on temperature. It is strongly depending on temperature. Got it? It is very strongly depending on temperature. That's why I am not neglecting even very small current. So remember, collector current flowing through the transistor is not a leakage current. It is majority charge carrier current. It is clear, guys? To find IC current, why leakage current will be multiplied with IB? Leakage current is not multiplied with IB. Leakage current is multiplied with beta. See, it is multiplied with beta only, not with IB. Okay. If it is clear now, let us identify how to keep the operating point stable. Now we understood that, yes, this Q point, it is not only to decide how much. Now we got the answer, how much is, we got the answer. Now it is also responsible that we have to make it stable. Whether operating point is stable or not, to identify, there is a parameter called as stability factor. That is what we are going to understand now. Shall we go ahead, guys, about that? So it is responsible for us now to keep the transistor active region and also to see the operating point is stable or not. Whether to verify operating point is stable or not, we have to find a term called stability factor. We call it as stability factor. How to find it, I'll tell you. Okay. Like ripple factor in a rectifier. Why do we find ripple factor? To identify ripple is more or not, we find a ripple factor. Similarly, operating point is stable or not can be found by finding a factor called stability factor. Shall we find it, guys? Shall we find it? So please take a screenshot of this. I'm going to erase. Please find a screenshot. Please take a screenshot of this. So I'm going to erase some things here. Take the screenshot on a count of 3. 3, 2, 1, go. So let me erase some part of this so that I can explain what is stability factor to understand and how to find it and what it says. I'll explain that. Okay. Harshavardhan, is your doubt clear now? Let me erase some portion because I don't want to draw the diagram once again because already I have drawn. Unnecessarily why to draw many times. Because I want to extend this continuation. Continuation of this I want to give. DC load line anyhow you understood. Are you all there, guys? Very good. Right. Now this is the equation. This is the equation. IC equal to beta times of IB plus 1 plus beta times of IC naught, right? What is stability factor? Let me define what is stability factor. Stability factor is denoted with capital S. Stability factor is denoted with capital S. Like ripple factor is denoted with gamma, efficiency is denoted with eta. Stability factor denoted with S. This is defined as dou IC by, or let's call it as D, okay? Why to call it as dou? Let's call it as DIC by DIC0 is called as stability factor. So the ratio of change in collector current with respect to change in leakage current is called as stability factor. Let's find how much is this term is. From this equation, let me start. If I differentiate this equation with respect to IC, so it is going to be 1 here, beta times of DIB by DIC plus 1 plus beta times of DIC0 by DIC, correct? I'm just differentiating the equation throughout. Yashwant Sani is asking, sir, can I refer that beta IB portion as current due to electrons in emitter and 1 plus beta IC naught minority carrier current due to the reverse bias base collector junction? Exactly, 100%. Perfect it is. Exactly that is the point. This part is leakage current due to the reverse bias junction, and this part is due to the forward bias junction. And in fact, this term which we show here, this term is sometimes called as ICE0. It is also called as ICE0. Okay. मीट ग्रेड अप में फोन किए थे चेंज करने के लिए. Okay, meet. I didn't understand what is your problem. राहुल किस सेटिंग में जाके नेम चेंज किया? Okay, okay, resolution zero. Okay, fine. So this is what differentiation, right? Differentiation with respect to IC. You all know that. Now let me rearrange this. 1 minus beta times of DIB by DIC is equal to 1 plus beta times of DIC0 by DIC. DIC0 by DIC. But what we want? DIC by DIC0. Shall I take this term this side and rearrange? So if I rearrange this equation, DIC by DIC0, which is nothing but stability factor, is equal to 1 plus beta upon 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC. This is the term called stability factor. This is the term called stability factor. Here, this is the term called stability factor. Harshavardhan is saying, no sir, collector base is reverse bias, then the current is flowing in reverse bias, then how majority charge carrier give current from collector to emitter via base? I think I need to study EDC, that's why I asked when you are going to take class in EDC. Yes, Harsha, yes. You know, the current flowing here in the collector is not leakage current 100%. That is because of the electrons emitted from the emitter. That is because of the majority carriers from the emitter it is. The current in the collector is due to the electrons injected from the emitter. That's why it is called majority carrier current, not the minority carrier current. Sir, can you repeat stability factor? IB is constant, right sir? IB is not constant. IB depends. IB depends on VBB. If VBB changes, IB also changes. If VBB is constant, IB is also constant. How we can get IC equal to beta IB plus 1 plus beta IC? Shaikh, that comes under electronic devices part. Okay, it is not necessary here. Just take the equation. It can be derived, in fact. You know, this equation can be derived from transistor basics. Can be derived. That's what I told you. I'm not going to the other subject. I'm directly taking. Like for example, in rectifiers, if you want to find average value, we have taken an equation, but we have not seen how that equation has come, right? Because that is some other subject. Similarly, this is the equation I wanted, but how it is coming, that is under electronic devices part, not necessary here. But in electronic devices, I will show you that how it is. If you are from electrical, it is not necessary for gate point of view. If you are from EC, definitely you are going to know that in electronic devices. I am going to get you only. Harsha, I'll tell you detailedly how that current is in collector junction in electronic devices part. Is it clear, guys? But let us understand what this point says. Stability factor tells you what. Suppose you know, our problem is what? Our problem is what? If temperature increases, all of you listen carefully. Problem with stability point and operating point, I'm telling you. Okay, so all of you listen carefully. If temperature increases, we know that leakage current is increasing. What is the relation? Doubles for every 10 degrees raising. So if leakage current increases, IC increases. This is the problem for us. So we want to stop this IC increment. We don't want to allow this further to increase the temperature. So here we want to break it. So IC has to be maintained constant. If it is maintained, we say that it is stable. So whether it is stable or not can be understood from this term. What this term says? 1 plus beta by 1 minus beta into dIB by diC. That means, imagine guys, for some reason leakage current is increasing. Let's come back to this equation and study. You know, for some reason, let's say leakage current is increasing. Then IC increases. I told you already beta is constant. The only way now to have IC to be constant is to decrease this IB. How much this IC is increasing, that much IB if it is decreasing, we say that IC is constant, stable. Do you agree? This increment in leakage current is not in our hands. That is in temperature, where temperature we cannot control. But because of that, if IC increases, if we can decrease the IB proportionally, then we can say IC is constant. Is it not? Agree or not? Agree or not? I'll tell you a simple example. Here there is a tap coming. There is a tap here. Imagine there is a tap. And there is some water coming like this. And I have a bucket here. I put a bucket here. If bucket are not drum, okay, drum. Let's say some water is flowing on it and I want the water level not beyond this. Water level should not be beyond this. Water is coming. Water is reaching almost this level. Water is reaching to this level. Beyond this, I don't want the water. Then what I have to do? I have to stop this water. But imagine there is no control here for this tap. Then water keeps flowing. But I don't want the water beyond this level. I don't want the water beyond this level. This level beyond this I don't want. But I cannot control this water. What should I do? I'll put a hole here. I'll put a hole here so that water will go out. How much is the water go out? How much is the water coming in? That much is the water go out. Then this level is maintained constant, no? That is what exactly I'm saying. This is like uncontrolled water because of temperature it is. Because of this level is increasing. If you want to control this has to be decreased proportionally. Shashanka is saying take bucket away. No, bucket if you take away, we are wasting the water, right? We cannot take the bucket away. Bucket should be there. That's a great idea by Shashank to take the bucket away. In that case, what I have to do here, if this is the thing happening in BJT, I have to take the BJT away. I have to stop giving the biasing. In that case, it is not useful for us, right? So biasing should be there, but still IC should be constant. That's a great idea. I never get it. So Bucket should be there, but still water level should be constant. Then I'll put a hole here. If I put a hole and I maintain that outflow is equal to the inflow, then the water level remains same. That is what I want to say here. Take a pipe, join to another bucket. Yeah, great. Modern problems need modern solution. Great. But I don't have another pipe, okay, to connect to another way. I don't have a possibility of removing this bucket because this bucket is this I'll permanently short it to the ground. Okay. Okay, right, like this. So this is what stabilization means. You know, if I can maintain this collector current by stable like this. Suppose here in this equation, come back and discuss. You know, in this equation, stability factor depends on beta is constant. I told you depends on this term, right? DIB by DIC. Imagine DIB by DIC is equal to 0. Imagine DIB by DIC equal to 0. For example, then what is the meaning of that? DIB by DIC equal to 0 means DIB by DIC equal to 0 means, what is the point there? All of you listen carefully. If at all, if DIB by DIC equal to 0, that means stability factor equal to 1 plus beta from this equation. This term is 0 means it is 1 plus beta. Stability factor is 1 plus beta means change in IC by change in IC naught is equal to 1 plus beta. Beta generally I told you 100 or above. Let's say beta equal to 100. Let's say it is 101. That means change in IC is equal to 101 times of change in IC0. That means if DIB by DIC equal to 0, that means change in collector current is 101 times of change in leakage current is happening. If leakage current happens to change, collector current is changing by 101 times of it. Is it stabilized? No, it is not stabilized. Is it not? That means if you want stability for the operating point, DIB by DIC should not be equal to 0. What is the meaning of DIB by DIC equal to 0, guys? Let's come back and check here. What is the meaning of DIB by DIC equal to 0? DIB by DIC equal to 0 means change in IB is equal to 0 with respect to change in IC. That's the meaning, right? That means whenever IC is changing for some reason, IC is changing for what? For maybe leakage current, IC is changing. When IC is changing, IB is not changing, it is the point saying. If IB is not changing, IC keep on increases. That's what this point also says. Is it not? Is it not? It is not stable. That means if you want stability, for the operating point, what is required? IC, whenever if it is changing for some reason, leakage current or temperature, IB has to reduce accordingly. If that is happening, we'll say that operating point is stable. In that case, stability factor comes to be 1. Is it not? Clear, guys? This is what about stability factor. Okay, I think I have a graph here actually. I have a slide extra. Stability factor to define. This is IC, this is VCE. This is the operating point we have been discussing. This is the IC, this is the operating point. So let me summarize, guys. If I want BJT as an amplifier, listen carefully. If I want BJT as an amplifier, what is first required? Transistor must be in active region. What is active region? Maintaining, what is active region? Active region is nothing but emitter junction forward bias, collector junction reverse bias. As a result, VCE value is something, IC value something. This value of VCE and IC, we call it as Q point. But how much is the Q point? Center of the DC load line. This is the point. Not only this, if you maintain like this, you also have to ensure that whether operating point is stable or not. If you want the operating point stability, then IC must be constant. How can we maintain that? If IC increases, IB has to decrease. Then we call it as operating point is stable. Okay. This is what the summary. Is it fine, guys? So if you understand now what is this, I will give you what is operating point and all. If you are clear, then I will go ahead in the next class. I am going ahead to keep the transistor in active region, and I'll show you with some biasing circuits like fixed bias, collected base bias, potential divider bias, each and every circuit, what are the specialty of those circuits, why we want this biasing circuit, why not this biasing circuit is. See here, there is a drawback in this biasing circuit. So here transistor is in active region actually. See here, 2 points I'll say. Here transistor is in active region, no doubt. Transistor is in active region. But I don't prefer this way of biasing because there are 2 batteries used to keep the transistor in active region. 2 batteries occupies more space, more cost. So I always prefer the biasing. What is biasing means? This or this is biasing, but I always prefer with one battery. Always with one battery I prefer. Always with one battery here. Okay, screen is blur. Maybe some resolution point problem or something. Try guys, last part which you missed in the recording version if possible. See what is stability factor I told, which is a measure of change in collector current with changes in reverse saturation current is called as stability factor. So please explain how according to equation stability will be 1. You know stability, see once again let me explain. Stability factor S is equal to 1 plus beta by 1 minus beta into DIB by DIC, right? So from this we are saying that if IC increases, IB has to decrease. How much? Equal, right? But in opposite direction. That means DIB by DIC value should be equal to -1. Is it not? Should be equal to -1. What is the meaning of this? DIB is equal to minus DIC. That is the meaning, right? What is the meaning of this? Change in IB is equal to change in IC. That's what we wanted. Because IC is equal to beta times of IB plus 1 plus beta times of IC 0. For some reason IC is increasing, by same amount IB has to decrease. Then it is maintained. So if change in IB happens equal to the change in IC, but this negative sign, see, why negative sign? Opposite direction. If IC increases, IB should decrease. If IC decreases, IB should increase. If that is happening, IC is maintained constant, right? IC is maintained constant. That is what this equation says. This equation says that. That means if I maintain DIB by DIC is equal to -1, my operating point is stabilized. If you substitute this equation in this, what is S going to be? 1 plus beta divided by, this is -1. So 1 plus beta. That means it is 1. That is how the operating point value, stability factor value is 1. Okay. Don't think that it is DIB by DIC equal to 1. That doesn't mean that, see, stability factor DIC by DIC 0 is equal to 1 is ideal value. That means what? Change in IC is equal to change in IC naught, right? That means if IC naught is changing, IC is also changing. How? To maintain it as stable. That is what the meaning of this. Suppose if DIB by DIC is 0, then what is S we are getting? 1 plus beta 101. So it is more increasing. So this should not be the case. Got it? Got it? Anand is saying that yes. That means we have to change the VBB value continuously to reduce the IB, which is manually not possible, right? We don't know when it increases. So this has to happen. IB reduction should happen automatically on its own. That is what the circuit which can do is called as biasing circuit, I am saying. To maintain the operating point and to maintain the stability, we go for biasing circuit. And with one battery, these are all the requirements of biasing circuit. Why should I go? Got it, guys? Why I'm going for biasing circuit? In the next class, I am going to show fixed bias, collector to base bias, emitter bias, self bias, etc. etc. Why I'm going for biasing circuit is because I don't want to have these many batteries. Second is manually I cannot do this. Reduction in IB manually is not possible for me. So I want to do it electronically. How it is? That is what the requirement we are going to see. And also we want other requirements like VCE value we want, IC value also to be provided, how to provide VCE IC and how to maintain it up stable. All these things will be covered again here in this. That is with biasing circuits. Yashwant Sunny, by stability factor 1 means stability factor in a circuit, if it is S is equal to 1 means the operating point is stabilized. Remember, operating point is stabilized. Operating point is, that means IC is stable in that circuit. That is stable. That means IB changes opposite to the IC changes. That's the meaning of that. That's what S equal to 1 meaning. I told you already. Sure, Mihra, I take your concern, not to write everything on one slide. Clear? Fine, guys. Any more questions you have? Yes, Mugundan, I do that. I do that. I don't write much on one slide. I try to use different slides from now onwards. Any more questions, guys? IC is increased by increasing IC not only, then we maintain constant. Yes, we have to maintain constant. No. Ajay is saying stability factor less than 1 is possible. No, it is not possible. Why? Because if you see the expression, S is equal to 1 plus beta by 1 minus beta into dIB by DIC. dIB by DIC maximum ideal value should be minus 1, right? If it is minus 1, S is going to be 1 only. It will never be more than 1. Stability definition screenshot, please. Sure. Take it. Take this. Yashwant Sunny, you better keep empty slides before the class. Yes, yes, I do that. I do that. From next class onwards, I do that. Shivam is saying, please increase the size of cursor. You know, guys, here there is no option to increase the cursor size. You know, I have to always shift between pointer and pen. There is no option here. You know, in this software which I am using and the pad and pen which I am using, there is no option to increase the size of the cursor. Otherwise, I would have done. But I try, are there any settings available or not? Show presenter view, arrow options. Is arrow options? No. So I'll check any other options are available or not. Okay, I'll explore because I don't have that option. I don't have that option to show. Nihar is asking about PNP. Yeah, one more point. Let me tell you about PNP transistor. Whatever all so far I explained is for NPN transistor. Okay, same things, definitions, all are same for PNP transistor. Whatever I explained, all are valid for PNP transistor also, active region, VBE, etc. Only the difference is, whenever I say NPN transistor, I show the arrow like this, and this is a transistor. Collector current is into the transistor, base current is into the transistor, emitter current is also leaving the transistor. Whereas if I see PNP transistor, arrow is inside and all the current directions are opposite to the NPN transistor. So collector current always leaving like this, emitter current is always entering like this, base current also leaving like this. These are the major differences between NPN and PNP. Like similarly, in NPN transistor, VBE is positive and VBC is negative for active region. Remember, it is for active region. But whereas in PNP transistor, VBE should be negative and VBC should be positive for PNP transistor. Or you call it as, or VEB should be positive and VCB should be negative. This way also you can say. So whatever I say for NPN transistor is applicable for also PNP transistor. Only the notation will be reciprocal. We can say reciprocal. Notation is reciprocal because in n place of P place we get N place you get P. So everything will be reciprocal type. All other things like VCE we call it as. VCE is something and IC is something we'll say in NPN transistor. In PNP transistor what we should say? VEC should be something and IC should be something. This direction of IC and this direction of IC are opposite. Or you can say VCE is always positive, right, in active region for NPN transistor. Whereas for PNP transistor, if you want to say VEC should be positive or VCE should be negative. Like this also you can say. Here VCE positive, VCE negative, or VCE positive, VEC positive. Anyway is fine. So everything will be reciprocal. I'll give you, don't worry, examples of PNP also, examples of NPN also when we talk about numericals. Okay, in the next class we are going to see some biasing techniques as well as some numericals, some problems also I am going to give you. First 1 hour I'll explain about biasing with some methods, circuits, with some circuits. Why circuit I already told you, and some numericals also I'll give you, how the questions will be asked and how to do it. Those things we'll be discussing in the next class. Is it clear, guys? Any more questions you have? Sir, when will you teach? Please explain the battery concept one more time. Operating point. I didn't get you. Sir, Amit is asking, when will you teach on board? Whenever lockdown is open. Lockdown होने के बाद I'll teach on again smart board. Mugundan, thank you, Mugundan. Yashan, regulator problem is very easy to understand. You're great, sir. This credit goes to you. Thank you. Thank you, Yashan. Thank you very much. Will it be possible for you to take a class on transistor basics as we people are not being taught those equations, sir? If possible, kind take it. See, I don't have any problem to take extra class on transistor to explain some basics. But yes, please, these questions, if I take some topics on EDC, they are not going to come in the gate examination. Why to waste your time when they are not going to come in your examination? If it is personal interest, take some special time on that. Instead of this, you concentrate on other subjects where questions are coming in the gate exam. Ultimately, your target is to crack the gate exam. No? Why unnecessarily you are wasting your time on learning the concepts which will not come in the gate examination? Whatever is coming in the gate examination, I am teaching anyhow. That is sufficient, more than sufficient. Don't go for anything extra. Current equation also remains same. Equation remains same. Only direction is different. IC equal to beta times of IP plus 1 plus beta times of IC0. This equation remains same, but only direction is different, right? Current equation also remains same. Beta also remains same. Okay. Devi Prasad Raipati, are you from Andhra? Yes, yes, I am from Hyderabad. Okay, guys. That's great. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Sir, will the gate standard for EE and EC will be same? Yes. Yes. Okay, guys. Tomorrow let us meet again in this in the class. I think tomorrow at 10 a.m. is the first class, right? Tomorrow we have 3 classes. Tomorrow Sunday is 3 classes. 10 a.m. 1 class. We will finish the biasing. Next we'll see some problems, and next. Amplifiers also I am starting tomorrow. So those students who have not watched this lecture, please watch it recording. And those who want to come for next day's class, please be thorough with the today's problem, so that next problems will become very, very easy for you. Okay, guys, what you have to do? You just go through the basics once again, refresh yourself, and then write the quiz of today. 2 quizzes you have to write, clippers and this, and get ready for tomorrow. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you very much. All the very best. Enjoy. Don't go anywhere. Stay safe, stay home, and don't stop your preparation. Keep learning. Grade Up is there with you. Thank you, guys. All the very best.